Welcome back to my weekly live theme, right? Today is Thursday. Normally, I will do the Wednesday check in, but as you know, when you're dealing with a bunch of fabulous CEOs from around the world, schedule get mixed up. So, my Madame Locha here, Brooks, founder, the first class educator, did her best to show up yesterday, but as you know, technology always gave a little bit of challenge. The last thing I wanted to do is to present this fabulous lady as a spotty blur, you delay where you can understand what you were saying. So for those of you who don't know me, hi everyone. I am Dr. Daphne coming live and all my social media platform as the founder of Parallelogram Institute. Today is Thursday, one day, you know, before the weekend. I know you have a full day tomorrow, but for me, my brain already is going down slowly, slowly. So I'm thankful for Thursday, but guess what? I gotta turn it up to do all my money move before 11 o'clock tomorrow. Otherwise, you're gonna get okie dokie work for me. Not excellent work. So, we're gonna talk. Locha is gonna introduce herself real quick. But before we do that, I have to put a little bit of music to know why you're here. Do my quick intro, and then we're gonna talk about this wonderful thing that she has going on with her, and tell her a little bit about herself. Locha, welcome to my live with Parallelogram Institute.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Daphne. I am so thankful, number one, and I am truly honored to be here on your platform. So let's go.
Yes, great, great, great. I love it. Yes.
Yes, I love that introduction, Dr. Daphne.
Thank you so very much. I love it. I got that made from one of the event that I went. They gave me an option to get a picture or get the intro. Of course, I picked the intro because there's no way
Yes,
I didn't have this idea in my head. And when they give me an option, of course, I took it. Well, you know
yes,
what? If those people are used to me, right? And my social platform tell them about me. What I like to usually take this time is talk about my guests, right? So, Locha Brooks, founder of First Class Educator. You notice what it says, right? First Class Educator. So,
yes.
remember what I do. I am here to teach educators how to monetize their teaching skills. So, guess what? There's the person that's going to definitely talk about how she became an entrepreneur and how she leverages her teaching skill, education background, right, to become entrepreneurs. So, Locha, take the floor. Tell my audience who you are and how you became an entrepreneur. And of course, we're just going to talk about that and that as we go on. Thank you.
Yes, well, again, Dr. Daphne, thank you so much for allowing me on your platform. I am Locha Brooks, the founder and CEO of First Class Educator. We are an educational consulting firm specializing in professional development for staff. Our services span from assisting beginning year teachers, helping school boards, helping assist with leadership development, but we have a founding niche on culturally responsive education. And so it gives me a great honor and privilege to be here to share with you all the benefits of having a school consulting firm. Number one, I never saw myself Dr. Daphne putting in 30 years inside of the classroom, right? I always knew that I wanted more. And so once I hit year 10 in the education industry, I gave myself a hard pause that I would move forward with my school consulting efforts. And so now I'm in year 3 of my school consulting firm, and it is going really good.
Wow, see, guys, everybody have a plan. Because the problem is, as an educator, for you to be a leader, those are your options to become a principal, right? A content leader or go to the board. But some of us, that can be it. The amount of level in education that we have, because every year you get more self development every year. You get something else is going on. It's just amazing to me to what's happening on our school system. So tell the people, you mentioned you give yourself a hard stop. Why did you do that?
So one of the things originally when I looked at the pay scale going into education, I already knew it wasn't like a high paying industry. It was something that I actually truly loved. And so with that, I looked and I'm seeing, even with me obtaining my master's degree, I'm still seeing that the income that I would be making was only going up by so much, so much, so much. And I also assessed the lifestyle that I live. So I like to travel frequently internationally. I have two boys. I like to take them out of the country just so they can have culturally rich experiences. And I was actually, having to finesse my off days, how you get that 4-day weekend for what is it, Easter, extending that and things like that. And I'm like, this cannot be my life. So I was like, at year 10, once I went back to get my master's, I said, I'm getting my master's in education administration. If I secure a principal position before I hit 10 years in education, so be it. But if not, I'm still going to pursue starting my school consulting firm. And that's exactly what I did. So year 10 came around. I ended up attending a conference. And that was almost a fluke that I went to the conference and presented as a vendor simply because I switched districts. And previously, my school district always paid for me to go to outside professional development. When I switched districts, they promised me that they would pay for outside professional development. It was time for the conference. I asked them, where do I submit my paperwork when it came time around? And they was like, oh, we can give you the day off, but we can't pay for registration. So I did the research on how much it costs to be a vendor versus an attendee. And mind you, this is in year 10. So this already went along with my divine timeline. It only costs $50 more to go as a vendor. So I got all of my promotional material made to promote me as an educational consultant and to promote my organization. We went there. I was able to make the connections that I needed to make to secure 2 contracts that double my then income. And so it's just been up ever since. And so, yeah, I just determined in my head, like, after I put in a solid 10 years, that I'll feel comfortable going to the next level because I knew that I wanted more and it wasn't going to satisfy me to be in the classroom, be an administrator, be a superintendent. I desired to have global impact, and that's exactly what I'm having right now. I still get to spend time with my kids. We still get to travel, and the work is still being done, and it's just amazing. It's amazing.
Oh, fantastic. You guys heard it right. She said she gave herself a hard time of 10 years. After 10 years, you know everything you need to know. Right. So what does it feel like to be an entrepreneur? Because you mentioned some of it. You said the work's gonna be done. You still striving with your children. You're doing the great things. Now,
So
what are the 3 things did you do first? Because you started saying that you accidentally become an entrepreneur. I think a lot of us say that, but if you believe in a higher power, there's no such thing as accident, right? But because you said that you research it, what are the 3 things that you did before you went 100% from a classroom to an educator?
So number one, well, I've always had the entrepreneurial spirit. So it was just a coincidence that this particular conference was taking place in year 10 to where I wasn't able to have it paid for my district and I had to actually pay for myself, which pushed me to go as a vendor. So it was right on track with my entrepreneurial spirit. But the things that I did, number one, I really wanted to make sure that my goals align with actually, the work that I was doing. So of course, everybody had all type of opportunities where you can make extra money on the side and do this and that. And, I started several businesses. I had a boutique and I had, all of these different things going on, but I had a true passion for education. So I really had to get focused on my actual goals and align them with every single thing that I was doing. So I wasn't spreading myself thin. I was actually just moving in an upward projection or trajectory with the things that I enjoy. So that was number one, really getting clear on my goals. Number two, going after it. So once I decided that I was going to attend this conference as a vendor, the doors start opening. I was getting noticed by, people who really saw it. They was stopping and they was like, who is that? Or, what information you got here? And it was because I was walking in my actual calling. It's on you. When you start to really believe in yourself and walk in a direction and path that is divine for you, people will see that on you. And so just really getting clear about the goals, moving forward in that direction, and then not letting up off of it. And what I mean is, at the end of that particular school year, I decided not to sign a contract. So my whole family was like, so you not signing a contract to go back to work, even though you don't have a signed contract for the school consultant? And I was like, yeah, I feel really confident in what I'm doing. And I've been in talk with these school districts and really understanding the process as well, that once you submit the proposals and things, they may be interested, but their board of education, depending on the dollar amount, still has to go through the process of voting on it, approving it, and so forth. But I felt so confident that I didn't sign no contract to make sure, like, I still got to make sure I got a check. I'm just knowing everything is going to be okay. So those are the things, really getting clear on my goals, following through with it, and then not letting up off of it, where those were the main things that really has gotten me to this point. And so I share this all the time. We had a multi-six-figure contract in our second year of operation, and it's just with persistency and believing in what it is that I have to offer, and other educators can totally do the same thing.
Woo. I was so tempted, to interrupt, but I wanted you to make sure you complete your thoughts and you were able to express those three things, right? Because I have the path that I created to take educators to entrepreneurship, and you target the main one is getting focused. Right, a lot of people as new business owners, you want to come out with that with the big eye. I want to have everybody, right? That's the syndrome. I went through that syndrome. Did you go through that syndrome? Like, I want to help everybody. You out here to
Well,
help everybody, work with every school, everything. Did you do that part?
for sure. Because I think, even for passionate or serious educators, we're nurturers. That's our spirit, right? We want to help everybody. We want to see them through to the end. But then really understanding, like, in this whole process, if I say that I actually value my family or I value time with them, how is that being reflected if I'm pouring into so many others? And so I had to really get honest with myself about what does that look like if I say I value spending time with my kids and I'm not able to do that because I'm doing all of these different things. And I'm like, yeah, if I take on this extra duty contract at work, I'm gonna make this amount of money. But now I just added 2 hours onto my day. So just even thinking about those different things really helped me to focus that if I plan efficiently to go out and to help schools to work around their professional development schedule, whether they meet once a month for PD or what have you, I can really live the life that I desire and have the impact that I want to have in the education industry.
Exactly. Now, another thing you mentioned is you believe in yourself. Even when your family looked at you like you were crazy, right? Because about 10 years, your contract is a little higher than most, and that's a lot of money. And you're like, wait, you're giving that up for something you don't know. How did you navigate that moment for you and your family?
So I feel like when you talk to people, you have to understand that they have the highest interest for you, even as harsh as it may sound, like, dang, you're not going to sign a contract, but what about,
Yes.
the income, your benefits and this and that. I know it was out of a genuine space, but I believe in myself more than I believe in other people. Okay.
Right.
And so for me, that meant I know this job is paying me a check monthly, right? But I'm making 50,000 a year. And I'm looking at how much I can go in and generate with consulting work. I'm showing others how they can make $100,000 with 72 hours worth of work. We work a 40-hour work week. 2 weeks is 80 weeks. So if I know that the time that I put in the classroom in 2 weeks, I can generate that same amount of income and double that, it was just a no-brainer for me. So I just believed in the knowledge and the skill set that I acquired over the years, and that just outweighed everything that other people were saying. And you just really have to understand that if you're talking to people who have not done what it is that you are looking to do, you can't really give too much weight to their thoughts or opinions about it, and don't give too much weight to it. Walk in your calling. And so that's exactly what I did. My family have never been an educator before. They've never taught in a classroom before. So for them to even, weigh in, I value it. I value what they have to say, but I also know my capabilities and what it is that I can do.
Plus, the fact that we take care of so many people's home easily, right? But yet, when we want to do something different, people question it. So, if I could educate, let's say, 20 kids a day, 5 classes, isn't that 100 little people we see a day? Time 100, time 10. How many people is that, right? You see 100 students a day per year. That's the minimum. That's okay to do, right? But you come out here, you can't take the same management skills, the same building relationship, right? The same reporting, data analysis, which we do a lot of. I did my speech on that. Our branding is our reputation as a teacher. You had some parents that avoid you, and you have some parents that seek you, which is the same thing with branding. Data analysis. We have to do reports for parents, report for your admin, report for the kid, report for you. There's so many different pieces that we keep track of, and that's okay. And then we have to grade papers. In fact, majority of us are doing all those work outside of our duty hour. We barely get lunch, right? And we barely get to eat sometimes because you're doing hard duty, you helping kids. All of those are okay. But when you ask the same group of people to put a business together using the stuff they already done, they're like, "Well, I know me. I'm not a salesperson. I don't, it doesn't equate, right?" So those are the how I speak to them. I'm like, "Wait, you already doing it?" That is definitely excellent. But for me, what you another thing you said, you took action in your focus. Why is that very important to take action after you focus, you figure out your goal, and then you took action?
It's one thing to get information, right? So it's one thing for me to know that I can still make an impact in education and have my time. And it's another thing to execute on that thought. So me putting together my brochures, my branding material, and actually taking action caused me to land the opportunity to secure 2 contracts with different organizations. You have to take action. If you don't take action, you just sitting there with a thought. You have to move on the thought in order for it to actually manifest in a way that you envisioned it. So that action part, again, you can have all the information in the world. You can listen to all the webinars. You can go to all the YouTube universities. But until you put it in action, it's not going to be fruitful because you've set on the information. And then at certain point, the information become obsolete.
Right.
So everything is evolving. So as soon as you get access to information that's going to take you to another level, you have to act on it, because as soon as you act, there's going to be some new information you come into that you need to act on it to continue to keep going to the next level and the next level and the next level.
Well, to be fair, right? We educators have the capability of taking a lot of information in and pick it apart and still create a project or lesson plan. But some people don't have that kind of skills, right? Even as teachers, some people struggle. They do either too much or too little, and based on the different people we interact with. Just because you have information doesn't necessarily know what you do. You know what to do with it. Think about some of our young people we deal with. We give them a calculator, we give them a Chromebook, you give them the checklist, right? You give them the worksheet, you give them the textbook, but there's so much that we give, they get lost. Sometimes we give too much. And I find out some of those people that don't get in business, that was someone that I have information overload. I have the secrets, the gurus, the this and they that. Everybody's saying the 10 best skills, and the top three, the top 10, the top 50. Before I quit my job, I did a lot of research as well, and I'm a perfectionist, right, Locha? And that's another thing that kills a lot of people from, especially educators, from going in business, because we wanted everything to be perfect. In our brain, we think we're not going to sell. But I've seen plenty of stuff out here that are selling with misspelled words, The picture's upside down, the percentage is a dot. You understand? So, did you wait for everything to be perfect when you were building your flyer, when you were doing your promotional things, or did you do it yourself? Or did you get a professional to do it with you? Because that's another thing we want to talk about: perfectionism versus the minimum best service that you can find just for your
So
situation.
I want to answer your question holistically from the aspect of my business in the beginning stage. I
Right.
did outsource all of my branding materials because I really took that part serious. The creation of the logo, I work with a designer, but I want to tell you, I got all of this stuff done for this conference that I attended within 3 weeks. Okay, about 3.5 weeks. And my stuff looked very good. Now, I presented myself as if I had an entire team behind me. That when we come into your organization, we can do X, Y, Z. I had already talked to the people who I wanted to be a part of my team, and I let them know my desires with my school consulting firm. I let them know my vision. We didn't have any contract set in place or anything like that, but I was fully confident that after speaking with these folks that they was down and I felt good going to the conference and presenting it like I had everybody locked in arms. And I believe that confidence, me flying the airplane without the wings on it, but I'm still navigating it. The airplane just grew wings and took off because I believed in the vision so much. So I did spend money or invest in the branding. But in terms of having my programs already done and PowerPoints and slide decks, all of that, I didn't have none of that. I'm just
Right.
keeping it 100% real. Sometimes you just have to step out there and know that these things are going to line up as you are speaking them. Everything is aligning with your thoughts, what you're saying, and how you're positioning yourself. I went there like I had it all together and I got contracts because they could feel it. They knew I'm coming with it and I've given them 150%. They was expecting maybe 110. I'm giving them 150% when we come in.
Well, that's very, very important for people to understand the difference. You may not have it solid on paper, but you did have a conversation. You did give people a heads up. You did get some kind of information for them. Say, hey, I'm building a team. Are you part of it? Yes or no? You have to at least do that. But guess what? If you still don't have that, you have a dream, a desire, and you know you have what it takes to accomplish it, go do it
You
because
have
it's
to.
going to come once the time needed, right? If you have to put a presentation together and you have a client, you teachers know how to meet deadline. It's called grading season. It's called end of the quarter where you have fire under you. You do whatever it takes to make sure you meet the deadline. It's no different. And that's what I'm saying as an educator, building your business, leveraging your teaching experience. The learning curve is not as much because we are already coming with so many different soft skills naturally that can translate into you being your own CEO, your own founder, running your own business with a lot of great skills you already have, right? And then you always, for me, I am actually looking for someone that can be my business manager because as a solopreneur, I do a lot of creating. I'm more system, my system in my business. I build it infrastructure because that's what I do. I do my own funnel, my marketing material. But in terms of managing me, I need somebody to manage me because details throw me off, and that's where I get frustrated. For me is to look at the street. Well, I'm more like, let me build a map for you. Let me build how you get from New York, from Maryland to New York straight. So that's me. But some people want to go the scenic route. They want to do that. I need somebody that's my brand that could do that. I need a manager because I'm more like the order, the creator, the tech person. So I am looking for somebody to partner with in that sense. And the reason I'm saying that, when you are as a business person looking, know who you are in your business. Are you the manager? Because there are different personalities. I learned that from Tony Robbins. I think he said there's four types: a manager, creator, uh, the communicator, and somebody else, a salesperson, right? Those are your four types, which is really what you need. Which one are you, Locha?
So I definitely think I am more of a manager. And that's how I just set my organization up as well. To date, I staff all of the opportunities that we are given. And so I'm very good with finding opportunities. I am excellent at delegating tasks. And so I find the people who have an awesome skill set. I have an operations manager as well. I have a marketing advisor. I have an assistant. I have all of these different people because I know what needs to be done and I know that I can't do it all. And so I need a team. So I'm very good at managing a team. I'm very good at curating spaces to where people get to exchange dialogue and talk for one common goal. So I
Right.
see myself as the manager.
Yes, for me, that's why I'm looking for my salesperson. I'm putting it out there right now for people that are listening, but I am quite very picky and I take care of my educators. You got to come in disciplined. You got to come in with not a your emotion in your sleeve type of person, because we're dealing with folks and their money. So I need definitely a salesperson. I need an operation because I have tools because I'm tech savvy, so I have tool that does my work for me. Chat box, automation, project management. I could set all that up and it's done. It looks like I have a team, but it's mostly tools. But I would like to have some people coming into my team right now because I need it because I'm growing because the new signature program is coming out. So I'm growing. I definitely need somebody else hands on deck. I want to lay back and manage as well and educate my clients and let somebody else do it. So with all that business, what do you have coming out, Locha, coming? What do you have in the pipe? What event you have coming up? Make sure as you share it, everybody, when she shares it, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a description on the reply part of the live so that way you could have access to it so you could buy the ticket, buy her course, buy whatever it is that she's sharing with you. So, Locha, tell the people what you have because we're about a few more minutes. We have to end the live.
Okay, so right now, what I have an 8 week school consultant accelerator program. We call it the SCA program, where we are showing educators how to actually get into school consulting. But I take it a step further. I'm not just showing you how to get into school consulting. I am showing you how to start a school consulting business to where you build a team and to where you have sustainable income. And so it's an 8 week program, but it's self modulated. I host it on a platform called Kajabi. And so people are able to go at their own pace. I know that people are still working, they have families, but the expectation is when you come into the program, I want to see you within 30 to 45 days submit your first proposal to an education organization. And that way you're going to start to see momentum. When you turn in that first proposal, it's going to turn into the second, the third, the fourth. And as you continue to move forward in the process, you'll start to see how easy it is to secure these school consultant projects or opportunities. And so that's one thing. I will be at NAPSI at their 50th annual conference. That's the National Association of Black School Educators. I'm doing an informational for those who are interested in school consulting. So you guys, I will be at the Gaylord, the National Gaylord, I believe it is,
In
in
Maryland.
Maryland. Yes, so you guys come December 2nd. I am going to be hosting it. The time is going to be from 4 to 6. I'm hosting an informational. I'll have the sweet informational information available, and we'll update this if we can to include that. But follow me on all social media platforms, and that way I will be putting out information so I can see you. That is going to be December 2nd in Maryland. I look forward to seeing everybody and sharing how easy it is to get into school consulting. You guys don't need a special certification. You don't have to have a master's in administration. As long as you are a skilled professional in your content area, there are opportunities for you. So I definitely want to show you how to break off into school consulting. Dr. Daphne, I truly appreciate you for allowing me to come on your platform and to even share, because I was in the trenches, in the classroom, on the front line, and I knew that that wasn't going to be my life forever. And I know a lot of educators feel stuck and they want to do more. So I'm excited to be here on your platform and being able to share with educators that there are other opportunities. You guys can definitely tap into my webinar training. That is going to give you so much information on how to get in school consulting. That link should be there, but it's the schoolconsultantaccelerator.com. It's a 1 hour webinar that truly gives you the game on how to get into school consulting. So I'm here to support you. Again, I'm on all social media. Locha Power Moves is one word. I'm sure that information will be down below as well.
It will. Thank you so much. As she mentioned, for me, I have my signature program called the Elite Business Builders for Educators, where I have a nice step system process that literally take you, if you're not sure, if you never even have an idea, to actually making a sale by the end of the 9 step. It is set up as a roadmap. You're gonna be hand on. I'm looking for 12 people to beta test before the launch. It's gonna be at a fraction of a cost, and you have to join my Facebook group, Teachers as Boss. So that's where it's going to be beta tested, and we're going to go together, work 12 weeks program, and walking you through from Locha, from literally classroom to what is it you want. Completely set your process up where you could go full time as an entrepreneur, or you could build a bridge and walk yourself across. You do not have to take a leap of faith to me, because you get hurt at the bottom and you don't know what's at the bottom. I did that, and I was one of the people that hit the wall, hit this, broke that, financially, got lost in the sauce, because I want to get out of the classroom, and I jumped off. Like, I'm gonna figure it out. But you don't have to do it that way, and you don't have to continue to get overwhelmed. You don't have to continue to be anxious, being stressed. You have an example. I'm going to bring more and more different examples of educators that are doing it. Some of them are still in the classroom, some of them are completely transitioned out, and some are in the middle of the different paths, right? So what I want you to do definitely is follow me on all my social media. This link is going to be on YouTube. It's also going to be on Facebook. Thank you, Karen, that mentioned that, she likes me. I love her. I follow her as well. Locha, I can't wait to connect you with Karen. Oh my gosh, she's Ruby girl. You got to connect. You're my Ruby girl.
Okay. Okay.
Opportunity to do that. So I appreciate you coming, everyone. We're gonna go ahead and end the live until next week. Thank you so much. Hey, Kizma, welcome. We're getting ready to go. So I welcome to the live. I appreciate you coming here. So next week, same time, we're gonna have yet interview another educator. Kizma might be the next one, but I have a list, so I'm excited about all the great things that's going on. But we educators are on charge, not only in the classroom, but we could change the world with everything that we have, because we are lovely and wonderful people. I love you all. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I'll definitely see you next week, everyone. Bye bye.
Have a good one.